In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the ins and outs to the medical commodity reselling business. On my phone, I have an entire list of questions that's going to be breaking this business down. If you want to learn more about this business, I have a completely separate channel and some links down in the description that will share with you how this business works and how you can build yourself a medical commodity reselling business. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, so let's jump right into this video. The clips you're going to be watching on screen are just a bunch of day in the lives of me and my friends doing this business. So the first question we have is, what are medical commodities? So medical commodities is really nothing more than a fancy word for diabetic testing supplies. And that's exactly what we're flipping, diabetic testing supplies. The next question we have is, where do we get them from? Now, just for an example, this is not a business where you have to really know anybody. Now, one of the 100+ clients that I have is my father. My father gets 10 extra boxes every single month. And those boxes that he gets sell for $68 a piece. So in the beginning, I used to pay him for them. But now that he understands what I do and he sees that, I do very well with this business, he kind of just gives them to me and then we split the profit. You don't need to know anybody. You don't need to have family members that do this. There are methods to market where the people in your area or people around the country will actually hit you up. So it doesn't matter if you don't know anybody who has diabetes. There are ways for those people to get in contact with you and to hit you up based off the marketing that you put out there. The next question we have is, who do you sell them to? So we use big name wholesalers / pharmacies that have dedicated price sheets as to what they pay per box. The next question is, how did I get started doing this? So I got started doing this all the way back in the summer of 2015. I know it feels like forever ago, but basically what happened is I was a real estate wholesaler. If you don't know what that is, it's basically sort of the same concept as to what we're doing with these medical commodities, is buying low and selling high. But with real estate wholesaling, you never actually buy anything. You kind of just lock the property under contract with a contract that says that you're allowed to basically sell your position. So basically you would basically find a house for, say, 80,000. Well, this is how my first deal went. The house was worth about 220, 230. I got the property under contract for 85,000. You have to get it extremely discounted, and then you sell your position to a cash buyer. And I sold it for 91,000, leaving me a $6,000 spread. And I did 2 deals, and then I was lined up to do a monster deal, which is called a JV deal with another investor, and we were going to make around 70,000, each getting us around 35,000 a piece. When the deal fell through, I was really counting on that because real estate wholesaling was my only stream of income, and those deals came very few and far between. The other guy that I was doing the deal with was doing this business, so he really wasn't pressed that the deal fell through because he had a business that provided him daily cash flow. And I always say, you could have the greatest idea in the world, you could have the greatest invention or whatever you want to do in the world, but if you don't have a cash flow to keep you alive while you're building your business or while you're putting everything together, it's not really going to work. You need something that can provide daily cash flow to take care of expenses, to take care of bills, and to do all the little nitty gritty things that people don't tell you about business. So long story short, the deal fell through. I offered to pay him. He didn't want to do it. I offered to work for him. He didn't want to do it. But I sort of had a concept of what he did. But back then, there were no YouTube videos. There were no courses or anything like that. So I had to piece it together as far as what to do, what to say, what to pay. And it was a lot of trial and error. It was a lot of buying products I couldn't buy. But that's basically how I got started doing this. What are the profit margins? The profit margins are typically 50 to 70%. Basically, you're going to be buying boxes for between 10 and 30 and reselling them for 50 to 70, sometimes more, sometimes less. How do taxes work in this business? So just like any business, once you start making money and profits, you have to pay taxes. There's no getting around it. But what I typically say, even though I'm not a tax professional, I would say, one, consult a tax professional. But if you want my advice, I would say track everything you spend, all of the miles you drive, maybe make a sheet as far as what you pay per box and kind of like a price sheet. And then also, go out there and make some money with this business before you run out there and dying to pay taxes. Go see if you can make money with this business. Once you make a couple thousand, then you can make it an LLC. Then you can legitimize everything. But for you to go out there and do all that and you can't even make $1 with this business, or you don't even like doing this business, it doesn't make much sense to me. How much can you actually make with this business? So I actually know a buddy of mine, not a buddy, but somebody in the community of this business that just actually bought a Lamborghini
or he bought a Lamborghini, he's waiting for it to get delivered. But, he's been doing it for a few years longer than me, so there's really no limits. As far as somebody who's just getting started, I tell people typically within month 1, expect around $1,500 a month in profit. By month 2, you should be doing around $2,500 a month in profit. And by month 3, you should be doing around $3,000 a month in profit, because I'm just not going to hype you up. I'm not going to basically blow smoke to you and basically say that your first month you're going to make $35,000. Now, while you can do numbers like that after quite some time, it's very unlikely that you're going to do that in your first few months. $35,000 is probably a number you're going to be seeing after about 12 to 15 months of doing this business. But I have seen people jump out the gate their first month, do $3,000 a month in profit or $5,000 a month in profit. I know a dude on my channel, I featured him. You can go back to my channel and watch it. He was 16 when he started, and his first month he did $3,000 in profit. The next question we have is, what do the people we sell them to do with them? So they have special licenses to be able to put them back into pharmacies. So it's a big cycle. The people who are diabetics get these supplies. We buy to them. We sell it to a buyer. Those buyers sell it to pharmacies to put them back on the shelf. The next question we have is, do you need a PayPal account to do this business? So no, you do not need a PayPal account. You can take payment via wire transfer, Cash App, Zelle from the buyers. I just like PayPal, even though I really don't like PayPal because they could be a real headache with holding money and doing stuff like that, is the buyers will prepay you, basically meaning you tell them, hey, I got 10 boxes of this, 7 boxes of that, 8 boxes of this. Show proof by sending a picture, go on PayPal, invoice them, they'll pay you, and then you can ship off the product, a day or two later. So they'll kind of give you the money up front, which will give you liquid cash to go out there and buy more product, so your money won't be tied up. Do you need a bank account to do this business? And I threw that question in there because I know some people might not even have a bank account. No, you don't. You can actually, like I said, they could send you a check for your product. There's a lot of different ways that you can get paid for your product. You're not limited to PayPal. You're not limited to a wire transfer if you don't actually have a bank account. Will this work in my area? Yes, it doesn't matter where you're located. You could do this in Hawaii, Alaska, a small town, a big town. It doesn't matter, because you're not just limited to your area. You can buy product from people all over the country and have them ship it to you. The next one is, will the upcoming effect in the pharmaceutical prices affect this business? So no, it will not, because the pharmaceutical prices that you're hearing about being dropped is for, drugs. It's for things like insulin and other, real medications. This is not medication. This is not something that you need a script for. These are the testing supplies that we use. You can go into any store and buy these. You do not need a pharmacy script. So that basically means that these prices of these products are not being affected. The pharmaceutical price drop that you're hearing about is for, real medication and different things like that. And this isn't medication. This is just a testing supply. How much do you need to get started in this business? I typically tell people, how to really kickstart this business off is to get started with between $500 and $1,000 to $2,000 if you really want to make some moves your first, month or 2 months or 3 months. But if you have to, you can bootstrap this business with $20. The same dude who was 16 and made $3,000 profit in his first month, he also started with $20, took $20, bought 1 box, flipped it to 60, took 60, bought 3 boxes, flipped it to 150. So, you can start with $20, but if you really want to get this business up and running very quickly, I would say start with between $500 to $1,000 to $2,000. How has COVID affected this? It hasn't. I mean, when I look at all my businesses for 2020, I look at 2020 being one of the most successful years I've had in business to date. So I really haven't seen COVID affect it at all. Do you need a separate number for this business? You don't absolutely need it, but I would say to pick it up. You can go get a phone from Walmart for $15. But like I said, if you're on a super tight budget, you can use your number. You can use a Google Voice number. It's not absolutely necessary. But the thing that I like about having a separate phone is when that separate phone rings, it's somebody calling about medical commodities and they are looking to pay. Or not looking to pay, but looking to sell you their supplies. The next question we have is, how fast do you get paid with this business? So as soon as you send off an invoice, you can get paid within 20, 30 minutes or maybe up to an hour or two. If you're doing PayPal, if you're doing, wire transfer or Cash App or Zelle, or they're sending you a check, you actually have to send the product, which what I would do is I would overnight it. I've done it many times. Once they get the product, inspect it, they'll send you the money, and I've never had a bad experience with them not paying. The next question we have is, how do you advertise? So think about anything. I usually tell people, think about a gym, right? How does a gym advertise? They got business cards, they got flyers, they got different things always saying, join our gym, join our gym, join our gym. So, offline marketing, online marketing, whatever advertising strategy you think you know how to do, tailor that with the message of buying and reselling medical commodities. Do you need a car to do this business? So no, you do not need a car. Like I said, you can have people mail you in product. You can use public transportation. You can use Uber. You can have people come to you. A car is not necessary. Does this business only work in low income areas? I'd be lying to you if I said it did. Are there clients in low income areas? Yes, definitely. But I have clients in upscale neighborhoods, low scale neighborhoods. You can't just say it only works in low income neighborhoods. Does it work good in low income neighborhoods? Yes, but that's not the only place it works. The next thing is, what skills are required to do this business? Really no skills. All you really need is some hustle. Once you know what to say, what to look for, what to pay, then, if you put the work in, you'll make money. And the last question we have is, should you take a course to learn this business? Now, I always say when it comes to taking a course, number one, make sure who you're learning from is well seasoned in the business. I've been doing the business for 5 years. There are some other people online that are now teaching the business. A lot of them I showed the business to. But nonetheless, do your research and figure out who you want to be your mentor. You don't need to take a course, but I always say you're going to either pay with time or money. The one you use more of costs you less of the other. If you want to learn from me, there is a link down below where you can book a call, ask me any of your questions, and if we're a good fit to work together, then maybe we could work together. In the end, this is a great business to learn and a great business to have because of the money that you can actually make. So without further ado, thank you guys for watching. More other entrepreneurship content to come, real estate, credit, other side hustles, and really how to be a successful entrepreneur. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later. Peace.